And now, we bring you the following live press announcement from D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser. Our regularly scheduled program will resume following the announcement.
Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming out for the groundbreaking of the new Frederick Douglass Memorial Bridge. Let's give it a round of applause. My name is Jeff Merudian, and I'm the Director of the District Department of Transportation, and I want to welcome all of you here. It is because of a tremendous team effort that we are here breaking ground on the largest public infrastructure construction project in the district's history. I want to especially thank our Mayor, Muriel Bowser, Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton, Congressman Steny Hoyer, Council members Charles Allen and TRAYON White, the Federal Highway Administration, Chris Lawson, our division administrator, and his team who are here with us, the U.S. Coast Guard, the National Capital Planning Commission, the Commission of Fine Arts, and multiple district agencies. I also want to acknowledge the South Capitol Bridge builders. They submitted an incredible proposal, and we are excited to partner with them. This bridge will be designed and constructed with state-of-the-art technology and materials to ensure durability and low maintenance for the more than 100-year design service life. The three-span structure will include 4 pedestrian overlooks, 2 on each side of the deck above the river piers. We will also replace the I-295 bridges, improve the area's drainage systems, and increase bicycle and pedestrian access. Substantial completion of the project is set for 2021. All right. That's right. And I know that Mayor Bowser will talk about the overall economic opportunities this project will create for the community. I would like to specifically address briefly our disadvantaged business enterprise goal. The design-build contractor will subcontract at least 13% of the total contract value for design services and nearly 22% of the total contract value for construction services to certified DBEs. All right. To that end, there are 2 important dates that I would like to share. On February 22nd, the project team will host an open house for DBE contracting opportunities from 10 a.m. to noon at Matthews Memorial Baptist Church. And on February 27th, from 5 to 8 p.m., the project team will host a job fair for construction trades, also at the Matthews Memorial Baptist Church, which is located at 2616 Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue, Southeast. I want to say a big thank you to our team at DDOT. Our team has shepherded this project with precision and dedication, and we are grateful for their continued hard work on this project. And we would absolutely not be breaking this ground today without the steadfast leadership of our mayor. She has been a true champion of this project from the very beginning. So it is my distinct honor to introduce the mayor of the District of Columbia, Muriel Bowser.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. It is wonderful to be here to celebrate the start of construction of the Frederick Douglass Memorial Bridge. The day has finally come. Let me acknowledge all of the people who have been part of getting this started. Even long before I was the mayor, and I dare say long before I was on the council 10 years ago, when we announced the selection of the team and the beautiful design that is going to go with our bridge, Congresswoman Norton gave us a fantastic history lesson of what it has taken to get to this day. And if you haven't had a chance to look at our beautiful bridge lately, Take a look at it. Ain't she pretty? Let's hear it for the beautiful Frederick Douglass Memorial Bridge. We are just delighted to be joined today by our champion on the Hill, who she reminds us frequently is always fighting for our right to statehood. But more than that, she's fighting to make sure that we can have access to the land and the federal projects that create jobs in the District of Columbia. This is one such huge job, and more than providing an outstanding transportation facility, it is connecting two wards, connecting Ward 6 and Ward 8. It is truly a bridge connecting our communities. So I want to thank you, Congressman, for always fighting for us, but more than that, delivering. We are also very honored to be joined by Congressman Steny Hoyer, who is our whip at the Congress, the Democratic whip. Let's give Steny a big round of applause. Congressman Hoyer is just a fantastic friend to the District of Columbia. And just on the other side of Ward 8, of course, are his constituents in Prince George's County. And so we know that the congressman has been very helpful over these many years in securing the funds that are making this bridge happen. For our team at DDOT and our council member, who has just been a tremendous help in making sure that all of the community has been involved, and will continue to make sure that we're working with small businesses and hiring D.C. residents. So thank you, Council Member Allen. So with the start of construction, we're going to see a lot of activity around the bridge. We're going to see a lot of people going to work. The investment of $441 million. We see this area changing around us with the construction finishing on the soccer stadium later this year. These are the investments that will continue to allow our city to grow, to continue to allow D.C. residents to be employed, and D.C. businesses to be a part of the prosperity that we are creating in Washington, D.C. I don't have to remind you that we're one of the fastest growing cities anywhere in the U.S. We're adding 1,000 people each and every month to our city. And we have to make sure that our transportation infrastructure evolves to support the many people that live here and work here and visit here. You know, it has been a long time, since the 1960s, when the District of Columbia was over 800,000 people. We saw a pretty steady decline after 1968. But over the last 10 and 15 years, we've seen our population increase again. And this year, in fact, this quarter, we're going to top 700,000 people in Washington, D.C. So what that means is that we continue to grow a safer and a stronger city, and a city where D.C. residents are proud of the direction we're moving in. And that also we have the tremendous responsibility to make sure that as we invest and as we develop, that more Washingtonians are participating in that progress. And that's why I'm so pleased that DDOT worked hand in hand with our partners at FHWA. And Chris Lawson, I want to give you a big round of applause and thank you for working with us in an innovative way to make sure that we're focusing on supporting our businesses too. So with that, I would like to ask our Congresswoman to join us to tell us all about how we got here over 12 years, 13 years, or maybe even more to be here with you today. Congresswoman Norton.
Thank you very much, Mayor Bowser. I know it's been a project ever since you were in the council, and this is one of those everlasting projects that we're so glad to bring to its culmination today. But a little perspective is in order. This bridge is, in my judgment, the most important bridge, and we are a city of bridges in the District of Columbia because it connects Southeast Washington to the other wards of the city, because it connects the commuters and the revenue-producing tourists as well. The whole Southland, parts of the Southland come to D.C. through this Bridge. Now, there's a reason that Steny Hoyer is here. He's not here just here because he's pretty. He's not even here because he's second in command in the House of Representatives. He's here because he, too, has been instrumental in getting the federal funds. This is a 60% federally funded project for this bridge. Now, I see these workers over here. Y'all bridge builders, y'all iron workers? Because the iron workers have been with me when on several occasions we've gone to the foot of this bridge to show just how rotten it was and warn people, watch out going over this bridge because we can't guarantee that it won't collapse. That's just how bad the shape, and I'll speak about what we had to do in order to keep this connective tissue from the region where Steny lives. You know, Steny couldn't get to work every day if we didn't have this bridge, and there's some of us who need him in the House of Representatives every day. This is a real workhorse crossing that really holds our city and our region together. It's also a gateway to our economy. And that's why, as ranking member and as a senior member of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, I have spent, now I haven't really counted, Mayor Bowser, but I know it's been more than a decade, seeking and actually squirreling away the funds for this bridge because it costs so much. The total is $441 million that you can't get that amount in a single appropriation. And of course, we are 60% of that amount. So you've got to do it appropriation by appropriation, building the funds until you get enough so that the city can put in its share for the bridge. This bridge got in such decrepit shape that even though it was built almost 70 years ago, which means with very well-built, very thick steel beams, it was being eaten alive by rapid corrosion. But it's an indispensable connection to the city. So we've had to do something that I don't think we've ever had to do before, Mayor Bowser, and that is to build another bridge while we're waiting for the real bridge. Because otherwise, Steny would have had to swim over here. And I got to get him here every morning to help take care of us. So we built a bridge that many of you came here over, that temporary bridge. We were so grateful to see it. And I'm grateful for a very personal reason, because I have two major projects on either side of the bridge. We just opened the southwest, what we call the yards, and I advise all of you to come down to the yards to see this new construction, and that's just phase one. We just opened that in January. And on the southeast, what we call the Capitol Waterfront, some call the yards, has been open since 2009. But you can't have these two first-class waterfront developments without a first-class bridge. And that's what the Federal Douglass Bridge, a true gateway bridge now, is going to give us. There's another reason that I'm particularly satisfied, I find this today particularly satisfying, and that is that Steny and I will go tomorrow to a big congressional ceremony to celebrate the 200th birthday of Frederick Douglass. And that's a full-fledged commemoration by the entire Congress, because February the 14th is the birthday he had to adopt, because he had no true idea when he was born. So it comes in time, as it turns out. I think that's coincidental, but it's a terrific, a wonderful, a sweet coincidence. But for the District of Columbia, there is no better way to celebrate the 200th birthday of Frederick Douglass than to do what we're about to do, to begin construction of the bridge named in his honor. Thank you for being here.
It's now my pleasure to introduce Congressman Steny Hoyer.
Thank heavens I did not have to swim here today. Yesterday was a little warmer. It may have been all right, but, it's a little cold to be swimming in here. First of all, let me say, Eleanor Holmes Norton doesn't have the vote. That is a blot on America's democracy. That's the bad news. The good news is she is extraordinarily effective even without the vote. I've had the great honor of knowing Eleanor for a long period of time and working with her closely. And one of the things we worked on, it was even before you were in the council. You were probably voting by that time.
Yeah, I was voting.
Yeah, you're probably voting by that time. But this has been over 13 years that Eleanor and I have been working together, not only on this project, but what an extraordinary renaissance we have seen in Southwest and Southeast District of Columbia. Thank you all very much for your leadership. And Muriel, I know that you are really excited about completing what some of your predecessors began working with Eleanor Holmes Norton. Now, Eleanor Holmes Norton's been in Congress for a few years, so she's seen a lot of your predecessors come and go. But I am pleased to be her partner in this effort. Councilman Allen, thank you very much for your leadership and your commitment, obviously critically important to the realization of this day. And to Christopher Lawson, who is the Federal Highway Authority D.C. District Administrator. In other words, he's got some money in his pocket and we're looking for it. So he told me he wasn't a politician. I said, "You're the administrator in the District of Columbia?" He said, "Yes." I said, "You're telling me you're not a politician? Give me a break." Jeff, thank you very much as well for your leadership. The Suitland Parkway runs just over the river here and comes in. And it comes across the Anacostia River. And while we dedicate this bridge, let us also rededicate ourselves to making sure the Anacostia River is a clean and pristine river for not only aquaculture, but for recreation as well. We're gathered here today not only to break ground on a bridge that many of my constituents use to commute to work. I went to Suitland Parkway. I graduated from Suitland High School in 1867. No, well, not quite. But as Eleanor pointed out, we are also here to celebrate its namesake. My friends, the iron may be decimated by rust. The concrete may be falling apart. But the name of this bridge is as vibrant and relevant today as it was in the 1860s and the 1850s. Frederick Douglass was born not far from here in Maryland on the Eastern Shore as a slave. Born into slavery, he yearned for freedom. And after he made a daring escape at the age of 20, he eloquently spoke of slavery's horrors and advocated its abolition. Today, Frederick Douglass is recognized as one of history's greatest Americans. And I'm proud that his portrait hangs in my office. It is fitting that among the many tributes to Frederick Douglass, one of those should be a bridge. Because he was about bridges, from race to race, from American to American, from one generation to the next. We are here, Douglass declared in 1876, not far from where we stand today, with the stately pillars and majestic dome of the capital of the nation looking down upon us. And the new bridge that will bear his name, as it does now, just as the old one did, for 68 years, will connect that stately and majestic capital, capped by the Statue of Freedom, dedicated to democracy, to neighborhoods, steeped in African-American history and culture, through which Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue stretches. That's the context of the Frederick Douglass Bridge. I am proud to stand with not only Eleanor Holmes Norton, an extraordinary representative. How proud Frederick Douglass would be of Eleanor Holmes Norton, her strong voice on behalf of civil rights and human rights and the district's rights. And I was proud to work with Eleanor to obtain approximately little above $200 million, a third of the cost of this bridge, Madam Mayor. It's a true collaboration between the federal and D.C. governments in our common effort to ensure that the nation's capital can grow for the 21st century with an infrastructure ready to meet the needs of a city on the move. The three majestic arches, which you see over there, of this stately bridge will welcome newcomers to Washington with a reminder of our history and the freedom and equal opportunity for which our nation stands. With all of you, I look forward to being here for the opening of the new Frederick Douglass Bridge in 2021. Now, I see some people around here who are going to be building it, who are going to be supervising it, who are going to be involved in this. Let me state again, 2021. Ellen and I started this in the early part of the last decade. 2021 will be about 2 decades, and we want it done on 2021, and Ellen and I are going to be there waving flags, shouting, and being very proud. The new Frederick Douglass Bridge. I thank Mayor Bowser, Congresswoman Holmes Norton, and the D.C. Council. And I want to mention my friend Anthony Williams as well, because he and I did a lot of work simply with Eleanor, getting the Department of Transportation down here, Madam Mayor, which made this such a vital neighborhood. And then the NAV-C going to the Navy Yard. What a transformation we have seen. What a wonderful city the District of Columbia is. What a great partner D.C. is with my own state of Maryland, and how proud we are to be aligned and to have a bridge which connects us even more closely and even more efficiently. Thank you very much.
I'd now like to invite Federal Highway Division Administrator Chris Lawson.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Good afternoon, everyone. Boy, it's a great pleasure to be here today amongst such an esteemed panel of speakers. It's a very good privilege for me. I just want to introduce myself to everybody. My name's Chris Lawson. I am the Federal Highway Administration's District of Columbia Division Administrator. We have an office in all 50 states, D.C. and Puerto Rico, and I have the privilege of working here in D.C. And just a little bit about my organization. We're a unique agency in that we partner closely with state and local governments, such as the District of Columbia here, to bring infrastructure projects like this to bear. And so our partnership with the District of Columbia is strong, and I have had the privilege of working in this capacity for the past 8 years, and I've had the pleasure of opening up many projects such as this one here. So it's really great to be here today to see another milestone being reached for the District of Columbia. Now, in my 8 years here, you know, there have been a lot of financial, technical, administrative challenges to this project, and so there's many people to thank, too many for me to try to do so today, but you know, there's a lot of people from my staff, DDOT, and the world of the consultants who made this project happen and made it a reality. So I'm just looking forward to the construction and the project being delivered in a safe manner, on time, under budget, and I'm looking forward to the ribbon cutting. It's great to be here today. Thank you all for your attention. I appreciate it. All right.
And I'd now like to invite Councilmember Charles Allen to join us.
Thanks, Jeff. As the last speaker, I'll try to be brief so that we can get to the serious business here. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. And, Ms. Mayor, thank you for your hard work to see this done. You know, Ward 6, I represent Ward 6, which it has more water than I think any other ward in our city, more riverfront, more shoreline. And you couldn't ask, when you think about it, as our Congresswoman did, from the wharf in Southwest all the way through the Capitol Riverfront, right here through the yards, our Congresswoman's fingerprints are on a lot of our riverfront and our waterfront, and it could not have been done without you, Congresswoman. So thank you very much. Let's give her a big round of applause. And with champions like Congressman Hoyer, who has just been a dogged advocate for the district, really appreciate that. Mr. Lawson, thank you as well. I understand, since everybody says you got the money, we appreciate the type that folds rather than jingles. So let's keep that coming. But again, as the council member here, my good friend TRAYON White from Ward 8, where this bridge is going to connect, has joined us here. And this bridge is something that's going to be great for our neighborhoods and our communities, but for the city. It is going to be a job creator. It's going to help put men and women to work. It's going to connect jobs to our local residents right here. We're working hard to make sure we have that pipeline for people to take advantage of these opportunities right here. But one of the other pieces I'm excited about, and I look at that picture, the mayor is absolutely right. It is a stunning bridge. It is absolutely gorgeous. But one of the things that I see along this is not just the bridge, but I see the river. And what I'm excited about is we are a city on two rivers, and the Anacostia River is coming back in a big way. And when we look at this bridge, we can applaud for that, absolutely. That's not nearly a sample size, the number of boats and people that are going to be on our water when we see this, and it's just going to be a stunning view, not just for the people that come across it, on foot, on bike, or in a car, but for the people who are on our water, on our rivers. This is going to be just an iconic view, an iconic entrance to the District of Columbia and to our city. I'm so excited by this. And I will say, on the bridge itself, I heard Jeff talk about the pedestrian and the bicycle connections. I have actually ridden my bike across this bridge. I did it one time and one time only. I'm excited for what we're going to have because it will create a stronger connection, whether you're getting by car or whether you're on foot or whether you're on bike, and it's just going to be beautiful. I'm excited. 2021 is our date, so it sounds like we got to get started. So thank you all very much.
And now I'd like to invite Councilmember TRAYON White to say a few words.
Pretty much everything has already been said, but I do want to say I have a lot of memories on this particular bridge. I want to thank our mayor, our congresswoman for their tremendous dedication and effort, and also our federal partners and government agencies who can collaborate to get things done. I used to go to school down Southwest in Waterfront Mall, and sometimes I used to have to walk across this bridge to get home. And so for some of us, it may be able to drive across the bridge, but some people, they walk. They ride bikes, and some people, it's a chance to just enjoy the weather. And I think D.C. is transforming. And what I would like to see happen is that people get to work. We have a high unemployment rate in Ward 8, and so we're looking for opportunities for local and small businesses and put people like these gentlemen and ladies over here to make some dollars in our city. That we change the economic disparities in our city by building, not just bridges, not just building, but building people. And so I'm excited to be here this afternoon, to talk about this bridge. It looks like the Golden Key Bridge, if you ask me, but, I'm a little over-exaggerating, but it's very nice. And there are a lot of opportunities. I used to work for the Earth Conservation Corps. We spent a lot of time in the Anacostia River. This is also the year of the Anacostia. And so we're going to be putting a lot of effort and time and transforming D.C., but we want to make sure it's all inclusive, especially for those who have been through the struggles of growing up in D.C., and we can partake and participate in the development and growth here in the Anacostia River. I want to thank my colleague, Charles Allen, who has been very diligent on this project, and our federal partners, because together we can do more, because we all are really one city. We're divided by wards, but we as council members, we represent the whole D.C., and so I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces here today, and I'm excited about what's going to happen here on this bridge and getting people to work, most of all. Thank you, and God bless.
Well, thank you, everybody, for coming to help us celebrate. I think we're going to take a few on-topic questions. Then we're going to go to do the ceremonial groundbreaking. Off-topic questions we'll take immediately after that. Yes, sir.
On topic. 3 jurisdictions in this area are vying for and hoping for a chance for the new Amazon headquarters. Is this help in that effort?
Absolutely. The question was about Amazon, and that there are 3 sites that are part of Amazon's short list, 3 out of 20, which for us says that the Washington, D.C. region is pretty hot, that we have a talented workforce, we have livable and walkable communities, we have great restaurants, great arts, and we are a great place for new tech jobs. And what that also means for us is that we can put more of our people to work around the region. So ease of transportation is important. Connections to area airports are important for Amazon. But more than that, just having a great city that you actually don't need a car in is highly important to them. But it's important for us to maximize all of our transportation network. Yes, sir.
Mayor, and possibly Ms. Norton, Mr. Hoyer, how does this, knowing how this was funded, how does this square with what you heard from the Trump administration's infrastructure plan yesterday?
Congresswoman?
I'm sure the president would like to take credit for this. But unless he was here for a dozen years as we squirreled the money, I'm going to give the credit where it belongs, to the Congress of the United States, to the House and Senate for allowing Steny and I to gather this money. The president claims to be a builder. We have some suggestions as to where to start, but he'll be happy to know he doesn't have to start with this bridge.
Thank you, Congresswoman. So let me just add to that. You already heard that this project, over $400 million, we are relying on a formula that has worked to help us build infrastructure in our city, and that's a 1/3 contribution from the feds, a 2/3 contribution from the taxpayers of the District of Columbia. If we had to make up that whole portion, projects like this get delayed, possibly another dozen years. So it's important for us that the federal government stay a partner in building infrastructure in great American cities. Yes.
Hi, I'm Alicia Camacho. I'm here to help represent ANC Commissioner Rhonda Hamilton, and 6D right behind us. She unfortunately...
What's your question?
Is this bridge project going to help help with the dust problems that have been in the community and the high particulate matter levels? Is there any part of this that's going to help reduce that problem in the community?
Okay, so the question is about dust during construction projects?
With the cement factories, DC United.
Yeah, let me ask Jeff to talk about this project and all the environmental study that has gone into it during construction, how we will mitigate any construction impacts.
Thank you, Mayor. We have some folks here from our project team who could talk you through the exact specifics, but we are taking steps, one, to coordinate the construction efforts that are ongoing throughout the area, and then also specific to this project. So we'll make sure to connect you directly with our project team that could walk you through all of those steps.
Okay, so let me just mention a thing or two, and let me again thank all of our DDOT team who have been particularly focused on getting this project through. I saw our director of procurement here as well. There are some particularly challenging things that they had to do to make sure we could be ready to properly procure the project, and all of our staff that are going to be working with small and local businesses throughout the process. For all the DC government employees, let's hear it for them. And let me also say that we in the city are focused on several events this week to honor Frederick Douglass. And it was the DDOT's team idea to be ready for his birthday, his adopted birthday this week, to start the opening, the construction of the bridge. Tomorrow, in a ceremonial room that we use in the Wilson building, we will be unveiling a refurbished portrait and having a little birthday party party at 2:30 p.m. So please join us there. And also this weekend, we're going to honor Frederick Douglass by honoring our health and fitness in the District of Columbia. And DDOT is going to open another project, celebrate the opening of another project at Oxon Hill Run Trail in Ward 8 at 8:30 a.m. So please join us for that 5K. So with that, let's turn some dirt.
Stay down. Can you sit down, please? Down in the front. We'll do a pose shot.
Okay. Yes, I am. One pose picture. And then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get started.
Yay! Hello!
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
We now return to our previously scheduled program, already in progress.